Great. So again, hi everyone. My name is Victoria, and today we're gonna learn about NPM, Node Package Modules. What are they? How are they helpful for us? How can we use them? And why should we use them? So let me share my screen. Okay, let's start from the NPM itself. So NPM, it is the package manager for JavaScript, and it's the world's largest software registry at all. Here we can discover and reuse some code, download some libraries that someone already wrote for us, use someone's solutions without need from us to write it from scratch. So NPM registry contains from more than 800,000 packages. And in fact, it is currently the largest package registry in the world. I said it already, yep. So 97% of the code in the modern web app comes from the NPM. So basically, biggest part of the application you're going to write will contain from the NPM module. So there is a website, ping.npmjs.com. Ping.npmjs.com that shows the registry service offer a 100% service uptime. So currently we and other developers, other companies, customers download packages from here 90 days and 100% of the time. So let's go to the main page back. Here we can look for the package which we would like to download. Usually, if you want to find package that you would like to use, for example, let's think. I want some library that will allow me to work with object classes and stuff more easily. So probably my first choice would be Lodash. I Google it. The first option that pop-ups usually would be your choice. The other thing that you should look for when choosing the library, the package you would want to use is weekly downloads. Basically, the rule of thumb, if there are a lot of them, package is reliable. You also can go to the repository of the package you want to download and check for issues and pull requests. This would give you a brief understanding of how package, if package grows at all, how it's developing, stuff like that. There is another metric that you can use in choosing the package is basically how often this updates. So here you can see Lodash doesn't update too often. The last update probably was 11 months ago. Though from the weekly downloads, we see that it's still a very popular library. A lot of people use it, so that kind of can be ignored. Though if you see that weekly downloads are low, package doesn't really update a lot, you are more likely to come across the package that might bring some vulnerabilities and more problems than good into your application. So keep that in mind. So, okay, I chose my library, for example, that I want to use. I want to download it. How do I do that? Usually in the description of the package, you can see the instructions for installation, for usage sometimes. Maybe let's find some meta package that's more descriptive in that matter. So basically here, the area that tells you how to install this package. Some words on how to use it, how to use its API, benchmarks, some support and stuff like that. So here we can see that it has 3 million, almost 4 million weekly downloads. It was last published a year ago. If we go to the repository, it will tell us that the last update was briefly 6 months ago, 13th of May, last release. So pretty nice library to use. I would choose that. This is library for working with classes in React or in your any application on any framework or in vanilla JavaScript that help you concatenate classes, choose if you should size class or not, conditionally and stuff like that. It's not the topic of today's lecture. It's just nice to know. So I chose my package. I want to install it. I would copy the line that they provide me here. So basically what we want to do, if you have Node installed in your computer, you should have NPM already pre-installed for you. So command NPM already should be available in your terminal or command line. So what I would, if you're not sure, you can go NPM -v. It will show you the current version of NPM that you're using and prove you in general that NPM is indeed installed in your machine that you're using. So we have NPM on our machine. We want to install a package to our repository or to our to our project that we have. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in the folder of our application and open command line there or terminal if you work with VS Code or Mac. Use this line or just go npm install the name of the package CLX. After that, we can add some postfix, let's say like that. Here, it suggests using save or save dev, which means that it would be development dependency. We'll talk about this a bit later. What does it mean? So basically, we can add, one line. We can add something like that. We don't want to ignore this for now. I'll understand it a bit later. So we're installing our package. Everything goes nicely so far. So here you can you've noticed that file named package.json is opened. It's not accidentally. Basically, if you just start your application, you won't have this file and package log.json, though from the first time you install some packages, this file would be generated. So this it serves as documentation for what packages your project depends on, and it allows you to specify the versions of packages, like here, that your project use using semantic partitioning rules. We'll talk about this numbers also a little bit later. What does it mean? What this mean? What this symbol means, and stuff like that. So this file makes your build reproducible, which means that it's way easier to share with other developers. So basically, this documentational file will be used by NPM when you want to share your application with someone else. You just give them your folder and everything that this developer would need to do. Let's delete that package for now. Is run npm CI or npm I. It's basically npm install, same as just write npm install, but the shortcut CI would mean that Okay, so just running npm install without name of the package will install all dependencies from the package JSON. So using the version that are provided. If you run npm CI, it also would use package log JSON in order to install more specific versions of the certain packages. Because, why this is important? Package log JSON stores more specific documentation for your application, basically, and for dependencies inside certain packages. So, for example, I used here package name Husky. Probably inside, under the hood, this package also used some package. And this package used some package. So there is a kind of ladder or nesting of packages inside. Then package log would follow this line of dependencies and install exact versions that you used. npm install, just npm install, and just npm I won't go that specific. It might ignore two last digits. So running npm install will kind of update the packages that are here if update is available, staying in the same major version of the package. That's what this symbol means. It means that you can use when you will run npm install, your application can use 7th version of the package or higher, still staying in the 7th version, so 7.1 or 7.01 and stuff like that. So the rule of thumb, you always if you get someone's package and you want to reproduce everything as closely as you can, you just download their package, their repository application folder with your app and run npm CI. So our package has been installed. Let's check what's changed. Package JSON has changed, obviously. So, okay, let's ignore that. It has been there already. So we can see that in the package JSON file, our documentation for our package has been added. So the first part is a name of the package in a lowercase, usually in one word, no spaces. Dashes and underscores are allowed in the name of the package. This is for future if you would like to create your own package. And the version contains of the number in a form major dot minor dot patch. And it uses some var specification for naming. Semantic partitioning. If you want to read more about this, here it is. So basically, major version change will major version change means that there are some breaking changes that happened in your package. So for example, I created some package. And during the development or bug fixes, I do some changes that make that are incompatible with the previous version of my package. So any developer that would download my package again won't will break his application. So that's why we have a major version of our package. You run an npm install won't update this number in the version of your package, so you don't need to worry about it. It's just nice to know. Minor version is usually adding new features that don't break existing flow, so they are backward compatible with the previous version of the package. And the last digit means the fixes of the bugs and the minor changes of the package. So that's a brief break of this number. So,
Sorry, can I ask a question about this major part?
yeah, sure thing.
So, if I understood correctly, if a major part, a major version is changed, for example, you were working on version 2.0.0 and now it's 3.0.0, should you update it or leave it 2.0.0 so your code will work?
Okay, so that's dependent on the change you're doing. If the changes are breaking, you definitely need to go with 3.0.0 just so other developers or other people that would use your package, for example, would know that there are some breaking changes and they need to be cautious updating their application to the newest version of your package. So it's kind of a notification for them.
And so you have to update your code also, yeah?
Yeah,
So it can
sure.
fit the new version of NPM.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. So, yeah. Um, let's go and check the structure and the packages on in general. So, it's always kind of the same. There are main parts of this file that will be always there. Basically, the name, it's the name of your package. You cannot use big letters or spaces here, so it's kind of in this snake or kebab, I don't remember case. The version of your application, it's same as here. Sorry, is here for any package that you use. Your application also would have some kind of versioning. If you're building some kind of a website or stuff like that, we usually don't change it, though you might, again, want to build some library that would need some versioning and stuff like that, or that would be a library for your own application, like style guide, that's where you would have different combinations of the components that you would later reuse in your application, like buttons, inputs, stuff like that, links, different things. So definitely you would want to change this thing there to keep an eye on the updates in this package, and also other developers also might want to use this. So yeah, it would stick to the same semantic versioning rules. Nothing really changes here. Description, usually we write the information from the README or leave it the same. It's also, again, for people who would download your code if it would be published somewhere. Main, we usually leave index.js, so it's the entry of your application. In most cases, it still would be index.js. Nothing would change here. This part is more interesting. Scripts are the thing that you can run with command NPM in your application to build your app or to run some tests, lint your code, check, verify, update things, everything you want, you might imagine you can do with this. It's tool for us to make stuff a little bit easier. For example, to run some development server on a local machine to make development easier, or for already for production version to be built and after that deployed on some environment. These are for us to run some linting rules and stuff like that. So we usually write them ourselves, so I won't break this giant line for you for now. It won't make a lot of sense here, though. For example, if we look at this script would run some linting on our application, which means that it would check sanity of our code, how clear the code is, check the indentation, some mistakes, more of a semantic things. That's what ESLint package does. So here, what would it do is run ESLint package on the files with extension .gs and .jsx. Simple as that. Basically, this is a shortcut for your commands to not write all the time stuff like this. You just go npm run and the name of your script. Like, for example, I want to lint stuff. And here it goes. You can see that npm just runs this command. Nothing else. Ignore. That's expected. It means that linter found some errors in our code. That's good. Yeah, so look at that as shortcuts for your command that you might need during development or deployment in a stage of your software development. Keywords, but also for NPM. This is the thing that's used here to search for the package. It should be here, yeah, here. Keywords, same as author and license. Also, you can add here your email or just name or anything else. License for using of your package. If you want to create it public, you can add ICS license, for example, or if you're creating some private package, NPM also allows it to create your private packages. You can specify that this is your specific package and you are not allow anyone to use that. Basically, protection for your intellectual property. Okay, and the last two, dependencies and dev dependencies. This is basically what we saw already. This is where we get the description of our packages, version and names that we used here. So what is the difference between dependencies and dev dependencies? There are some things that we want to use as developers that we want to go to production version of our application. For example, testing. These things should be run on our local machine somewhere before deployment of our application, stuff like that, but it shouldn't be part of the final production version of our application. That's why everything that shouldn't go there will be put here. So SAS, again, it's preprocessor. Is preprocessor for the CSS. So it's not something that would go to the final version of our application. It would be transfiled to CSS. Webpack is a builder to build our application. Again, we don't want it to appear in our final product. Stuff like Babel, some loaders, linters also don't go there. What we have in dependencies here, for example, our framework libraries like React and React DOM, some library for unique IDs, prop types, shouldn't go here. It would go here. It's also a development library. So you see dependencies in the production version of our application are much less in amount than the dev dependencies. That's okay, absolutely all right. So be cautious about that because these things, packages take some space. So you want your production build to be as light as possible. So keep an eye on this and be smart when adding your packages to your application and understand why do you add some package in dependencies and one in dev dependencies. So how to add dev dependencies or dependencies. So in the beginning, you saw that I used save dev prefix to install my package. This will put my package in dev dependencies. If I want to install it in dependencies and ensure that it should go in production, I would run just npm install. And it didn't install. Okay, so yeah, basically that's the difference. Yep. Yep. You either can run just save, just running just npm install is a little bit easier and shorter. So another question. Packages are constantly updating. It was already, for example, this one, Select, was updated half a year ago. What if I installed this package, for example, a year ago, and now I came to my application, I see that, I don't see, I just want to update packages that are already out to date. How do I do that? So there is a command for that. For example, I want to see outdated packages. I run npm outdated. It will show me, hey, this list of packages are outdated. Please update them. Current column will show what's the current version you're using, what is the wanted, or it's usually the same as the latest but more stable version, basically more stable and latest version of the package. And latest is understandable. Location doesn't really interesting for us. So what I can do about it, I can just run one by one npm install, removing package from the package zone and installing it again. So for example, if I want to update SAS manually, I can go do this and then run npm install SAS save dev. Here we go. We can see it updated it from, where is it? 1.41.1 to 1.42.1. This is a manual option that we can use. Let's check outdated packages again. Here, it's not in the list anymore. We can do it in a whole bulk. And it's what we might want or might not want to do. Update. Here are some drawbacks in this approach, because even though you can usually trust that, for example, if the minor or patch versions are changed, that you won't face any breaking changes in this package, so it won't affect your application at all. Though behind these packages are also human beings, and mistakes can be made. So it's just a nice practice to, after every update of the package, whatever version has changed, minor, major, or patch, to check how your application works with a new version of the application. That's why you could be cautious using npm update. So we updated our packages. Let's check npm outdated. You see no outdated packages in our application. That's great. So, basically, that's it. That's everything I wanted to tell you today. Really short action we got today. So maybe you have any questions about NPM usage and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, one last thing There might be a question of how do you use the package that you installed. Basically, it would be accessible by the global naming. So basically, you just write the name of your package and the application. If you use something like Webpack or stuff like that, this is important. Application would understand that is an NPM package. So yeah, that's it from me. And if we don't have any questions, thank you guys for showing up today. Hope you're gonna have a great day and see you later then. Bye.